Episode 56.
Hey Tang-Ru, want to give it a try?
Chen Guo passed the mini whack-a-mole game to Tang-Ru.
She doesn't need it. That won't help her much. Her APM is probably around 200, but she's not familiar with the game. Lack of experience hurts her judgment, and that limits her reaction speed.
She's got room to grow, but she'll need to grind it out in the game.
And what about you? What's your APM?
Me? I'm past the stage of chasing raw APM. My 60 APM is more than enough to handle you all.
Chen Guo was instantly reminded of the first time she'd seen Yexu's APM. It was so slow it seemed crippled. Yet with that exact APM, he had soloed the Dark Knight Cat Demon. Back then, Chen Guo had found it nothing short of a miracle. Hearing Yexu say an APM of 60 was enough to beat her, Chen Guo wasn't the least bit angry. She was becoming more and more convinced that Yexu was no ordinary man. The ability to control your APM at will, that's the biggest difference between a pro and an ordinary player.
How much longer until you're done?
Still a while yet. EAQ's guides aren't comprehensive either. There are some other really good ones out there. I'll compile those for you in a bit.
Actually, it's not good to read guides before you've even tried the game yourself. You should get some hands-on experience first, build a foundation, and then check the guides.
Why's that? But doesn't following a guide help you avoid so many pitfalls?
A guide is just a summary of past experience. Everything written in it only represents the moment it was made. A guide that's a year or two old, or even just a few months, will have people finding better strategies than what's written in it.
It's not just because the game gets updated. More importantly, the player's skill levels are constantly improving. Records exist to be broken. The true peak is always ahead, not behind. A guide is just a reference. You can't just follow it blindly. That's no way to make a breakthrough.
Chen Guo listened, utterly dumbfounded. She could hardly believe such profound wisdom was coming from the mouth of this sloppy, shut-in otaku. This reasoning clearly didn't even put the great Yokyu, whom Chen Guo idolized, in its sights. Normally, Chen Guo would have jumped up to argue with this person, but right now, she just couldn't muster the will to fight.
I'll just start playing then.
Instead, it was Tang-Ru who picked up the conversation. She sat down at the machine next to Yexu and swiped her account card. Yexu gave a nod, then turned to look at Chen Guo.
I'm going to play whack-a-mole.
In that instant, Chen Guo couldn't help but wonder if she was being played.
Whack-a-mole just sharpens your reflexes. Real skill comes from practicing in the game.
Oh.
All right, get to it.
Chen Guo agreed and turned to leave. After a few steps, it hit her. What kind of attitude was that from him? Who's the boss here, anyway? She thought to look back again, but found Yexu, sitting at the computer and fiddling with the guide, had an expression of such intense focus. There was none of his usual listless, half-dead look. Chen Guo froze. She couldn't bring herself to disturb them. Over there, Tang-Ru had also become completely absorbed in her game. Chen Guo looked at the whack-a-mole game in her own hands, then finally walked away in silence. Little Tang has talent. Yexu already has formidable skill. But what about me? Chen Guo sat behind the front desk, lost in thought. She loved this game too, and she desperately wanted to be great at it. But Chen Guo knew she could never reach the heights Yexu described, that level of challenging the past and breaking through her own limits. At 27, in the world of esports, you're already looking back more than you're looking forward. Tang-Ru entered the game full of confidence, but it wasn't long before she was thoroughly demoralized. Even with her 200 APM, she couldn't handle this problem. Yeyu had run into this problem before. Chen Guo had too when she played on a new character last night. It was the classic new server overcrowding issue. You finally get a quest, but you can't kill a mob for ages. The area outside the starter village is packed. No matter how fast your reaction time or how high your APM, you just can't land a hit. Tang-Ru was utterly frazzled by the ordeal. After doggedly persisting for half an hour, she finally leveled up from 1 to 2. Tang-Ru let out a long breath and glanced at Yexu beside her. The guide compilation work was still ongoing. Yexu remained as focused as ever, his level of concentration even startling her a little. As she watched, the focused Yexu slipped his left hand into his pocket, pulled out a pack of cigarettes, gave it a couple of quick shakes, and a single cigarette jumped right into his mouth. His eyes never left the screen, and his right hand never stopped moving the mouse. Just as he was about to light it, someone poked him. He turned to see it was Tang Ru.
Hey, you can't smoke in here. Gulgo will be furious.
Realizing
Lighting a cigarette was such a subconscious habit for Yeqiu that he only realized he'd already put one in his mouth after the fact. But this spot was tucked away in a corner, far from the front desk. Apart from him and Tang Ru, the surrounding area was completely empty.
can't see me, right? Just one smoke. Don't tell anyone.
Yeqiu lit the cigarette anyway, then turned his head and offered one out of courtesy.
Want one?
No, thank you.
Ever tried it?
Tried it. Didn't really like it.
Yeqiu nodded, then leaned over to glance at Tang Ru's screen.
What level are you?
Level 2.
Keep it up.
Curious. So this Lord Grim up here, is that you?
Tang Ru suddenly asked. Yeqiu looked at the dungeon records for the 10th server displayed on Tang Ru's screen. Lord Grim's name topped 4 of the lists.
Already planning to break my records, are you?
Neutral. So a first clear is out of the question now, right?
Yeqiu nodded. So Tang Ru's gaze fell upon the Frost Forest dungeon record.
This record can't be broken by one person alone.
I saw it. So I need 4 partners, right?
There are 10-man, 20-man, and even larger ones after that.
Tang Ru fell silent, lost in thought.
The guide's done. Where should I put it?
Yeqiu finished compiling the guide in the time it took to smoke a cigarette.
The desktop will work, but you have to do it like this.
Tang Ru came over to demonstrate. The computers in the internet cafe all have auto restore, but staff can bypass it by accessing the admin channel. Yet even from these simple deft movements, Tang Ru's nimble hands were plain to see.
Hey, how did you train your APM?
Yeqiu suddenly asked. Tang Ru's movements hit a tiny, almost imperceptible hitch at those words, but Yeqiu caught it clearly.
Different. Never practiced. That's just how it is.
Is that so?
Yeqiu just smiled, saying nothing more. He pushed himself up from the chair and offered the seat to Tang Ru.
You can keep going here. If you have any questions about the guide or the game, just ask me.
Thanks. What about you?
I'm heading to the smoking area. It's safer over there.